What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for the Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2. This is episode 9, I think?
Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is with me, as always, I have Blue Space.
So yes, so the first scene we see is we find out what happened to Phila when she first arrived in that world. So apparently she gets captured and then taken into I guess like into a slave market, which honestly watching this was a bit uncomfortable, at times because of how she was treated in this episode.
Yeah, I just felt really bad. I was like, I kind of wanted Naofumi to get her out of there as soon as possible, honestly. I guess neither of us really know what they did with her at this point in this arc in the story and the source material. But I'm wondering if this is something else they kind of like changed up for the anime or something.
Yeah,
we know obviously they're kind of taking Raphtalia's character, or well, at least I guess spoilers for the end of the episode. I guess she is going to meet up with Glass and Lark and her group and be with them, kind of like she is in the source material. But I guess the way she meets with them is different because, as we know, she decided to, she was left behind, so I guess she gets captured, and that's how, and that's how she's gonna end up meeting with them or something.
They have been taking a lot of liberties in terms of how they're handling this storyline. So the episode soon starts with Naofumi demanding that Kizuna return them to save Raphtalia, but of course Kizuna is unable to do so because she they're blocked from going back to the same place, which of course enrages Naofumi even further. And we see signs that he's bringing back his rage shield, or his cursed rage shield.
Yeah, I thought that it got replaced with the Spirit Tortoise shield, but I guess he can bring it back if he gets. I guess if he gets angry enough. I'm not really sure how it works.
It's possible, but they eventually reach the nearby kingdom, in which of course Kizuna is welcomed back in open arms. But when she reveals that Naofumi is the shield hero, Naofumi is immediately met with a lot of animosity, just basically on who he is and supposedly the rumors about him being that he's a threat to their world of sorts.
Yeah, I guess they don't react kindly to people who might have come there from another world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but shortly afterwards, they meet with this guy named Ethnobald, who's I think, what's his weapon? He calls it the boat vessel weapon.
So is he another one of he's another one of the vassal heroes, I'm guessing, or the
supposedly, yeah. And then
so he's the boat hero.
he's the boat hero, which I'm curious.
I'm just wondering how that works. How is the boat gonna be used as a weapon? I guess you could. I don't know. I just thought
we see what. Well, he's on this little floating platform sort of thing, which later in the episode it's revealed that it does transform into a giant flying boat. But then Naofumi finds out that he doesn't look human at all. So it's revealed that he's actually like a giant rabbit beast, similar to how Phila can transform into her Philolial form. So Ethnobald reveals that there's a way of tracking Raphtalia by, I guess, creating a creature called a Shikigami. So it's revealed that Kizuna has a Shikigami of her own, which is a penguin named Chris, which is it's funny, it's not something that I was expecting for a character just. But just the idea of it kind of reminds me a little bit of Pokemon or something, with them having just having these small creatures that they can summon. But I've actually seen this character, I guess you would say this character before.
like I think it was with some fan art of Raftalia. She had this like raccoon, or well, I guess like this creature around her, and I thought it was like some kind of original character created for like fan art. I didn't even know it was like an actual character that was in the series. And then we find out in this episode where that comes from. Is so of course, we learned that I guess these Shikigami can be created through like I think what was they revealed that Chris was created through like a from glass, right? Or it was something it was like glasses Shikigami.
Yeah.
And
so supposedly this Tanuki like Shikigami creature is created with Raftalia's lock of hair and Naofumi's blood, which so they eventually both the Tanuki and Chris reveal that both Glass and Raftalia are located in the same place, which pretty much confirms that Raftalia is with Glass's group at this point of the story. Assuming if they're playing around with the timeline, with supposedly of where they're headed in the next episode, but eventually they go to where Raftalia and Glass is located. So, like I said, Ethnobolt's floating platform transforms into a giant boat or a ship, which transports them into the next city over. Which, of course, they reveal that it is part of enemy territory, in which both Raftalia and Glass are located at. So as soon as they arrive there, Naofumi overhears Philo's cries, and then he finds that she's being supposedly being auctioned off at a slave auction, which of course he keeps seeing her being whipped and abused over and over and over again, to the point where Naofumi gets enraged of supposedly wanting to kill this guy. So they wait until later that night to sneak in to try to free Philo. But initially they were initially confused that they couldn't find Philo first, because they didn't know what she looked like at the time. So they actually find her as a small bird locked up in a cage, which Rishi initially didn't think it was Philo at first. But Naofumi realizes right off the bat that it's really her, and so they release the seals to free her. And then of course Naofumi catches the slave trader abusing her, and then decides to I guess mentally torture him to the point where he breaks.
I was kind of wondering how he did that. Does he have a shield that can do that or something? I don't know.
He used some kind of new shield ability that we didn't even know about. So it apparently mentally tortured this guy to like I said, where he just completely mentally broke of sorts. So they eventually, with Philo freed, they find out that Philo is now a different breed of creature called a humming fairy, because they realize that Philolios don't exist in the world that they're staying at. So Philo is now a different creature altogether.
Yeah. Which is basically why they couldn't find her at first, because she was she appears as a different kind of bird.
Yeah, and now she can freely transform into a smaller looking bird, which I'm curious on how Philo is going to end up fighting in that new form, because she mostly fought in her gigantic Philolio form, but now that she's unable to do that, she has to fight some other way. But it's possible that I don't know, maybe if they level up a bit more, maybe she might grow back to her gigantic bird state again. But it's hard to tell based on how this world works. But what also happens is once Philo gets back in a group and finds out about this Tanuki Shikigami, she immediately names it Raf-chan.
Yeah, so that's this is pretty much the official name for it. It's Raf or Raf-chan. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so by the end of the episode, they try to learn more information of what happened to Raftalia, and supposedly they learn like the katana vassal weapon wielder has escaped, and then Naofumi finds out that Raftalia's stats in his menu started to disappear. And,
Yeah.
but of course, initially they think he's dead. They think Raftalia is dead, but they also find out that because if Raf Chan is still with them, then Raftalia is still alive. But the episode supposedly ends at that point. But there is another scene that happens in the post-credit scene, which initially I missed, but I found out after I rewatched the episode, and we find out that Raftalia is taken to this mansion up in the frozen mountains. So I'm guessing the next episode is going to focus on her perspective, and more than likely she'll be meeting up with Lark and Glass probably in the next episode.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Especially since they're still not really on the best of terms. So I guess it'll be interesting to see them, I guess, have to maybe work together. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good, decent episode for the most part. I like I said, I really didn't expect the whole Shikigami thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. But that's and of course they had to rescue Philo, but that's kind of like the biggest things that sort of happened in this episode. We still have yet to see Kyo reveal himself, although I'm pretty sure that'll happen pretty soon at this rate. But and there's
only like what? Oh yeah, there's only like 4 episodes left of the season.
Yeah, and there's also that other guy who's, I guess, now another villain. But yeah, I mean, so far this arc I find it a little bit more interesting than the Spirit Tortoise. It just seems like there's a little bit more going on, which I like. There's a little bit more tension because they're all kind of separated and they're still technically, I guess, at low levels. So it's just it's definitely more. I find it more interesting than what they were doing with the Spirit Tortoise arc.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, ever since they got into this new world, the story has gotten a little bit slow from the beginning because
it's definitely a contrast with the pacing and in terms of like the way they were handling the Spirit Tortoise arc with how this arc is being handled, where I agree, it does feel a little bit more slow.
Because they're reintroducing us to like into this brand new world, and they're trying to get themselves acquainted in it, and then of course leveling up. It's like you're playing like a brand new RPG altogether, and you have to learn the ropes over and over and over again in order to get the learning curve and stuff. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to learn more about what's going to happen with Raftalia, assuming like what the next episode is called Katana Hero, which definitely is going to hint at something in what's supposedly what's going to happen with Raftalia of sorts.
Yeah, probably, because I think in some of the promotional artwork, I think we actually do see her with a katana, if I'm not wrong. I feel like I remember she had one. So yeah, that might explain why she looks like that. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the episode. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, it was a decent episode. I mean, I'm glad they met it with Philo, but the circumstances for like how she was treated was a bit uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, like I was kind of hoping they would she would not be captured for that long and they would rescue her in this episode, which they did, because like I don't know if I could handle like seeing a couple episodes with her just being treated that way. Like I agree, it was a little bit hard to watch. I was like, it actually pissed me off. I really did want Naofumi to either kill that guy or just torture him in some way, which I feel like what ended up happening to that guy is probably worse than death. So it's pretty much what he deserves. But yeah, so that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.